Welcome back. It's your best friends. It's Austin. And
It's Sean.
what's up, man?
Not a whole lot. Just getting through the week. I'm pretty tired actually. I haven't been sleeping super well, but
Why
you know,
not?
ah, I don't
You
know.
don't know?
I
You
don't.
stressed? You not wearing your TrueDarks?
That's a good question. I've been wearing my yellow glasses, but been wearing my deep red glasses. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that
Sounds like he's gonna be
other
wearing the deep
people
red glasses
I
tonight.
probably should. Like these ones that people could buy, hitting the link down in the description.
Like us.
Yeah, I should. No, I don't think I'm particularly stressed or anything. My first thought was it was the cat, but nah. Maybe like the
What if it
first
is?
first two nights, but the other nights, no, I don't think so. 'Cause she hasn't been bothering me the other nights since she's settled in. But
I don't know, man. What is it?
I don't know.
Have you been going to the climbing gym?
Not as often as I should.
Maybe you haven't like built up enough fatigue by the end of the day.
That's a good point. That's probably has something to do with it.
Not moving enough.
That's going to be my mission. It's going to be my mission next week is to get to the climbing gym more, get some reps.
Heck yeah. That's what we
Yes.
like to hear.
How are you?
Well, it's almost Christmas, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, most things are mostly good. So
Most things are mostly good. That's good.
yeah. Other than that, there's a couple things like weighing on my brain, but nothing like catastrophically horrible. So overall, good.
Good.
It's
Good.
almost Christmas.
It is
What's
almost
today? Is that
Christmas.
20th?
Yeah. So 5 more
Yeah, why
days.
is it? I don't know,
Wait.
man. Like the older I get, yeah, yep,
Yep. Yeah, okay.
5 more days. Yeah. The older I get, the more I don't know. There's like a meme of like the older you get, the more you're likely to say like, "Oh, it just got here so fast, it snuck up on me."
Pretty
I feel
accurate.
like that. Yeah,
It's just kind of
I,
snuck up on you.
I feel like that meme. Well, I knew it was coming, of course. Like I'm not an idiot, but
Well,
like
sure, but like time just went by quite quickly.
I mean, I guess yeah. I didn't like put it at the forefront of my brain. I didn't put anything about Christmas at the forefront of my brain until like last week.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I don't know. Christmas is like my favorite holiday, like by
me too.
far. And I would say I'm probably in the same boat. Maybe it's just because I'm like not living with my parents for the first time. So that's probably part of it. Whereas like when I'm with my parents, I see more like Christmas decoration type stuff, and I haven't really done much to decorate for Christmas. I do listen to Christmas music though. I very much enjoy Christmas music. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat for the most part.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite holiday too.
Yeah.
I think I'll be more ready for it once my you know, once I'm on break from work, basically.
Yeah.
So
You got big
yeah,
Christmas plans?
no,
Oh,
we're
okay.
doing like a friend's um Christmas tonight,
Oh,
and
that's fun.
then well, like a small group of people, and then uh I'm gonna meet up with you and your your lady. I was like, do I say names? I don't know. I'm not going
Yeah.
to because I haven't been given the okay. Um, sometime soon we'll do another friends Christmas. So like some friends Christmas things, and then family Christmas things. I assume on Christmas Day. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm excited.
Oh yeah. That's exciting. I'm yeah, pretty much same. I'm going to Cincinnati this week. On
What?
tomorrow. Yeah, I leave
Yeah,
tomorrow night, and then I'm gonna be there Thursday, and then I'm coming back Friday. It's pretty much just a day trip because I mean my brother's coming from California mostly to see her family. That's in Cincinnati, so we're just
nice.
stopping in, seeing everybody, hanging out for a little while, seeing the kids and all that, and then we're gonna come back, and then my cousin's coming to stay with us Saturday and Sunday, and then it'll just be my parents and my cousin and one of his friends, I think, for Christmas on Christmas Day. So should be good. I'm excited. Looking forward
Yeah,
to the chill time.
Yeah, same. Just
Yeah,
relaxing.
yeah,
Well, you want to get into the meat of the episode?
yeah. Let's get in there.
All right. So I do your fact or fib while I get my article going.
I got a factor fit for you.
All right.
So, before becoming a famous painter, Bob Ross was a military drill sergeant.
Yeah, I've heard this. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've
Fact
definitely heard
or
this.
fib?
Let me think. Um, I think it's true. I don't know if he was a drill sergeant, but I know he was in the Air Force, I think. So I'm gonna say yes. Fact.
It is a fact. Bob Ross,
Nice.
beloved Bob Ross, was a military drill sergeant before he became a famous painter, which is pretty crazy to to visualize Bob Ross as military drill sergeant.
Yeah, I think that was his whole thing was like he wanted to get away from that part of himself and then wanted to paint some happy little trees.
Hey man, he
Yeah,
got there.
he turned into a meme like 5 years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like people would have like Bob Ross shirts and like Bob Ross hats and
Have
Bob
a
Ross everything.
hear the podcast in the background.
Yeah, she's freaking out.
Um,
Not happy about something.
very very big Halloween costume too. I have a lot of friends. I have a couple of friends that have like
Oh yeah,
big curly hair, and like for Halloween, most years they go as Bob Ross just because that's it's just like the easiest thing to do for them.
that
Um,
makes sense.
and
All right,
it's a good
Millie's
one.
freaking out. I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy that he went from drill sergeant to painter guy. It's pretty
Yes,
funny. All right, ready for my article?
I am ready for your article.
Well, my article is not cloudmusicsuite.com, but this is a
Oh,
beautiful, great website where you can hire a private instructor to teach you some stuff about music.
I
Okay.
like it.
Whatever instrument you want to learn. It's a great time. So head on over to cloudmusicsuite.com if you haven't already. And if you have already, head over anyway. All right. Here is the article for the day. All right. So it's kind of hard to read, not going to lie to you, but it's basically talking about if you want to build strength, power, or endurance, you should fix your feet first. So I'm gonna have to do something about this cat, I think.
That's
Can you
okay.
hear
I'll
it?
yeah, I can.
Yeah,
She seems to be
she's
not
losing
happy
her
with you.
mind.
Um,
We'll see if she
yeah,
keeps making noise. I'll go handle it. But
yeah.
okay, so he's got a quote here that says, "The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art," from Leonardo da Vinci. Dude, backstory: I used to like idolize Leonardo da Vinci.
Really?
Yes, like when I was a young wee lad. I was so like impressed with his drawings and like all the basically like architecture, like ideas and inventor stuff. Like I was just so enthralled with him as a thinker. I thought he was
Mm,
like the tip top G.
that's a
I
good one
still
to
kind
be
of think of
into.
that.
I really like
Yeah,
that quote. That's a good
it
it's a pretty
is.
smart, like insightful quote about just I don't know, the way the human is built.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I agree. So yeah, I'm not gonna read the all the pieces, but I am gonna go down to where was it? Okay, I'll start this last sentence or this last paragraph here. In learning from Dr. Kelly Starrett, who is a physical therapist, I think he's a very smart mind in the space, one of the smartest, and co-author of some book for several years. I've come to appreciate how vital healthy feet are how vital healthy feet are to athletic performance and living as a fully functioning human being. I agree with that. I had some issues with my feet and like my calves and my shins and stuff as I was going through like college and
Yeah.
marching a bunch. So when I was really young, pretty much only wore like flat shoes, like Vans, Converse. It's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't wear shoes at all. So Vans, Converse, or nothing. And then as I got older, like high school and stuff, I started wearing more like I guess you could call it like stylish
Supported.
shoes. Yeah, so I would wear like, Nikes that are um supported or whatever, or like Jordans that were supported and they all had this like huge arch large heel lift, and then I don't know if you can see me, and I don't know if my camera's still on or off, but
We cannot.
like a toe lift. What's that?
I said we cannot.
Okay, well, there's like a toe lift as well. So like
Mm,
if you can picture the foot, like it literally lifts the toes up. So I was wearing those shoes, and then if I wasn't wearing those, I was wearing like Sperry's or some kind of dress shoe, and most dress shoes have like a pretty big heel.
yeah.
And then I like kind of like transition into like
Slanted down, kind of.
boots. Yeah, and then I like transition to boots, and boots have like a heel. A lot of things I was wearing had a heel, and then they had an arch that was like built into them. And this is pretty much seen as like a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like look at this. The more we spend, I wish I could just highlight it, but it would take a sec. The more we spend and the fancier the gadgets designed to fix us, the worse our issues seems to become. This also extends into the consumer space with shoe companies hawking airbags, arch supports, stability plates, and other technologies that are supposed to help our feet, but actually leave them more coddled and weaker than ever before. Fully agree with that. Real quick, before I keep going on my diatribe, you want to rate this article? It's pretty short. Oh my
Oh
god,
wow,
this
what is going
cat is
on?
going. She's knocking stuff over, bro.
No. I mean, it's not bad. At
No,
least
it's
on the
not bad.
iPad, it's not bad. Don't see like
Yeah, no,
crazy
it's
ads
not
or
bad.
anything. I want to say like a 7, 6 or 7.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll agree with that. Let me stop
Yeah.
sharing so I can come back to the stream. Okay. Um, yeah. So I experienced this myself, and I thought, well, I'll just fix it myself because no one's gonna fix it for me, and that's pretty much how I feel about pretty much everything in my whole life.
Yeah.
And anyway, the main thing that I had to do was to stop wearing all the shoes I was wearing and start wearing flat shoes again and do as much barefoot time as humanly possible. And I would be barefoot like pretty much all the time while I was like going through fixing this. And I probably was teaching you, and I would be barefoot in like, hot summer day,
Yep.
black asphalt parking lot. Like I was barefoot so often that I could just walk on the black asphalt. Like, and it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
There were still days where it would get hot enough where it would hurt me, but my feet were so calloused from going on barefoot walks all the time and staying barefoot all the time to where it didn't even hurt at all. And I was like comfortable enough just walking around on the hot asphalt. That Not the hot asphalt, but just walking around barefoot was like 90% of it. And the other like 10% was choosing the right shoe to wear when I was going to wear a shoe, and then completely destroying both arches with like, manual therapy. And
Yeah.
yeah, let me say this: stretching was probably less than 1% of the help that I received from myself in terms of actually fixing it.
Yeah.
Smashing and finding trigger points and destroying like the little spots that would, build up all the muscle tightnesses and disgustingness, and loosening up the fascia. That was most of what was able to unlock the next level of comfort or the lack of pain. And then being barefoot all the time. And like when I was weightlifting, let's say I was deadlifting, consciously thinking about like gripping the ground with my toes. And another thing, wearing like toe spreaders. I literally wore these things that
Dude,
spread my
yeah.
toes apart. Yeah. So I would wear toe spreaders like while I slept at night, and they would just like put space in between my toes. So if you look at a lot of people's feet, their toes are like totally smashed together. And this arch that goes this way across their foot, so this is my foot, right? There's an arch that goes this way from your toes to your heel. But there's also another arch that goes this way. So you kind of
Yeah.
have these like two arches, right? So I feel like in general, people understand how to restore this arch because you can kind of just like take a golf ball and like smash the crap out of it. But to restore the other arch, a lot of it is getting those toes to
Toes to
actually like,
open up. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, those are the main things I did. And then, to this day, although I don't offer my opinion on these things unless someone asks me because it's a waste of time. But when someone does ask me or mentions that their feet are hurting, I'm like, hey, you should probably wear different shoes. And they're like, what? But I got arch support in my shoes. I'm like, exactly.
That's the problem.
That's
Yeah.
the issue.
Yeah. I got thoughts about all pretty much everything you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can't wait.
generally I agree with that. So like when I was younger, I was definitely wearing a lot of like normal tennis shoes, like Nike, a lot of stuff with arch support. And I don't know what your like arches look like, but I have like completely flat feet. So I was like getting arch support, and I have like, I don't know, my feet were like super flat. So it was very obvious to me that I had arch support because it was like, I don't know, like cushioning that portion in like a very intense way.
Yeah.
And I used to play soccer when I was younger, and I remember I think it was mentioned in that article, and I think this is the name of it, plantar fasciitis. It's like that
Yeah.
stabbing, like, or no, that's the heel pain, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah, I had that weird heel pain, like that caused me to have to sit out. It was like unbearable. Like I could not run. And it like made me so mad. I was like, why is this happening? Another thing was I would get like a pain in the center of my foot that felt like I was like a nail was like stabbing through the center of my foot. That happened anytime I was barefoot or wearing flat shoes until I like wore more flat shoes and walked barefoot more often. Um,
Yep.
yeah, pretty much in high school to now, I've started to like walk barefoot a lot more often, and wear flat shoes. And just like overall, I feel like it just helps. I mean, not only those things with your feet, the heel pain is gone. I don't get that weird pain in the center of my foot anymore. Um, but I feel like it also just helps with like posture and like
It
your
does.
spine and your
It
shoulders and just
does.
like literally everything. It realigns everything. Um,
Yep.
I just overall feel better
Oh,
in my body when
100%.
I do that. The other thing about the toes, I need to wear toe spreaders more often because when I when I rock climb, I'm jamming my feet into these tiny ass shoes that are like really
Mm,
smushing my toes together. And I was looking at my toes like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, my toes are like, they're like crammed together. So
yeah.
I definitely should get some like toe spreaders, or at least I watched a video of a famous climber, and you know who it is. It's Magnus Meatbow's YouTube
Yeah.
channel, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was with
Yeah.
Jujimufu, that bodybuilder. And Jujimufu was like, "Hey, you climbers should like use toe spreaders." And he's like, "You should try this." And he like sticks his fingers in between his toes and
Yeah.
like, squeezes. And because he
Yeah.
wore toe spreaders, he could do it. And Magnus couldn't do it. And I tried it, and oh my god, is it painful? You ever
I didn't
done
even
that? Just
know,
like
dude.
shoving your fingers through
Um,
your toe, the space of your
no, but I'm
toes.
about to right now.
It's pretty hard. Um, that's when I
Definitely
realized I was like,
fit in the
oh
first
damn,
two.
yeah,
I can't get the third one. Oh,
yeah.
I got the third. Oh, it's so painful.
It sucks, right?
I can't get the pinky toe with the pinky in between the. Yeah, I can't get that. Yeah, I'll have to work up to that. I didn't even
Yeah.
know, dude. I haven't been following Jujimufu for the longest. Like whenever he had
Yeah,
that
me
like
neither.
weird falling out with
Tom Boyden.
yeah, dude. Have you like gone down that rabbit hole of like what happened?
Yeah, dude. That was pretty crazy.
Like
Uh
that guy, Tom Boyden, has the most fragile ego of anyone I have ever
yeah,
like heard of on the whole internet.
dude.
And
It's
like
like
he really
so
if
much
people don't
happened.
know what we're talking about, there's this really famous, we'll just call him like influencer, fitness influencer named Jujimufu. His name's John Call. He actually lives in North Carolina, like really close to us.
Yeah.
And he basically makes like this very interesting fitness content. Some of it's like informational, but most of it's like uh
It's usually like
entertainment based.
bodybuilder tries strongman, bodybuilder tries rock climbing, tries powerlifting. Like
Yeah.
it's very much
Yep.
just like, yeah, clickbaity. Like I'm a bodybuilder and I'm going to try new things, or I do a workout and this is my workout.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a
But it's
mix.
good stuff. I mean, it's
It's awesome.
entertaining and yeah, it's he's great. Anyway, he had this guy, I guess he was like his editor and cameraman named Tom. And this is like a masterclass in deception. Like he made he made Jujimufu like believe in him so much that he ended up changing the name of his channel to like to Juji and Tom.
Yeah, it was really
And the
weird.
main reason was like, Tom is in this thing too. Like he's like we're doing this together. And Jujimufu is the only one that ever gets the love for it. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. He's the guy that's
Hmm.
responsible for you even being there in the first place. If you're not ready to be in his shadow, you should quit. quit the job. It's just a job.
Yeah.
Like it's not, anyway. So he like was stealing money from him and all these crazy things. Like they made a company together. I think they made Drip Genie together, right?
I think
And he
so.
was
I
like
think you're right.
stealing money to fund his fucking gambling
Gambling
addiction.
addiction. Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ. Ooh, let me go on a conspiracy theory real quick.
Word.
So you know who Michael Jordan is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, did you know that Michael Jordan took multiple years off in the middle of his prime to go play baseball?
No, I did not know that.
Okay, so Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest player of all time in basketball history, took multiple years off and then came back to the NBA after taking those multiple years off. There's this huge conspiracy theory about how he was in a bunch of gambling debt with the mafia.
What?
Yeah, and they had to like the NBA went through this investigation. Supposedly, this is not confirmed, but supposedly they had to basically launch an investigation into Michael Jordan's involvement with like the mafia and gambling and his debts that he hadn't paid, and that's why he was basically pushed out of the NBA. They were like, "You're going to retire." And then he went and did other things and tried to stay
Oh.
athletic and then went and played baseball for a little bit. Then he was able to come back to the NBA after the investigation was done. That's the conspiracy because it is pretty
It's
well documented that he has some gambling issues.
interesting.
Yeah, and
And
there's like
was
a
it
whole
very
situation
like,
about his dad like got killed through this whole it
wow.
was super crazy.
Was it like very random? Like his absence from the NBA? It was like suddenly he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go do
I
baseball
mean,
now.
he had just gotten a three-peat, like three
Oh,
chips back to back to
wow.
back to back. And then
Man,
they were like, "Yeah, you gotta dip."
dang.
A three-peat is not easy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
that's pretty gnarly.
Anyway,
Um, yeah,
it is.
the Jujimufu thing is pretty crazy too. I remember when it first like I started to feel how weird it was because he's like John was on or not John, Tom rather was on like all the videos and then like they do a podcast together or they did a podcast together and they released like a clip of that podcast to the main channel after they changed the name and the clip was like Tom basically just being like, yeah, like it sucks because people come to like these conventions and they're like, I want to take a picture with Juji and it's like, man, it sucks because like I'm a part of it too. And I don't know, it was like, but you're not, you were the video editor in the beginning and you're also not the big bodybuilder that like Jujimufu is, which is the novelty of the videos that you're creating.
Yeah, that's a
Like
good point.
very,
Yeah, it's
very
just
weird.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Egomaniac.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we went down a rabbit hole. What the hell were we talking about?
We're talking about feet.
Oh, feet. Yeah, dude. So, and when people do find out my opinions about shoe choices and footwear and all that, I would say 1 out of 10 times people are like, yeah, it makes sense. And then 9 out of 10 times they're like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right.
Let me know when you go through the same thing that everyone else who came to this realization goes through, and then I'll help you.
That's why that's
They're
why
like, when I
you
wear flat shoes, my feet hurt. I'm like, exactly. I know. You have to keep doing it. You're weak.
you're weak. Yeah, that's true. That's why you
Your
had an
feet are weak.
organization and you just have those people wear flat shoes, but no questions asked.
I do that. I do that for the
I
greater
do
good.
get. Yes. No, I'm
Uh,
bought in. I mean, yeah,
it works.
it does work. Uh,
It's hard to not buy into things that work.
it's just, I mean, yeah, especially like the walking barefoot thing outside, especially for me, a part of it is also just like ground, like I think the term is literally called grounding of like being
Yep.
touching the earth with your skin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It feels so good to
Yeah.
like walk around in the grass with your bare feet. And
I
just
could
like
go.
as you
I could
do
put my
that over
tinfoil hat on
time,
if you want.
it's oh sure, always.
Yeah. I think that there's a like a microbiological input as well that we don't get that we should get from walking around on the dirt and in the mud basically, and
Oh, I
even on
believe it.
concrete and asphalt is fine. But I think that, you know, let's just talk about HomeBiotic for a second, which we talk about on
Oh,
this.
nice.
So no, I'm
Let's
not going to do
go.
the pitch, but you
Okay.
know, those organisms or soil-based organisms, right? So there's whole products made around soil-based organisms that you can like spray in your house and take as supplements, and they're supposed to like bolster your gut microbiome and make you more healthy because you increase the total percentage of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria, right? Or have a better balance of bacteria, period. That process, I believe, is aided by walking around barefoot on the earth and picking up, you know, basically God knows what on your feet, and then not washing your feet whenever you're done walking. And it's like, oh, that's so gross. But it's really not though. It's been happening for literally all of the time since forever, all
That
the way
humans
until like
existed, yeah.
1880, you know. And what's happened to the human condition since 1880? Not much good.
That's true. That's
uh,
true.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
it's the same. That's the same thing with just walking with no shoes. Like in the context of like flat contact. You know what I mean? No arch support.
yes,
Like
yes.
it's the same thing. Like now people sit and wear shoes with arches, and generally we have worse posture than we did, like than our ancestors did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like a
Yeah.
million reasons for that one.
We're a lot less good of machines now than we were. But yeah, I heard it one time of like, I think it was Alan Thrall who first heard say this, and he was like, going to the gym for an hour does not mean you're fit. Let's be reminded of this. And he said, let me paint the picture for you. You sleep in your fluffy cotton bed for 8 hours, hopefully, and then you wake up and you walk downstairs and you make breakfast or coffee, and then you sit down while you eat it, and then you stand up and you clean up your stuff, you gather your things for work, and then you sit in the car on your way to work for maybe 15 to 30 minutes. And then you walk from your car to your desk, and then you sit at your desk until lunch. And then maybe you walk to the microwave and microwave your food, and then you sit and you eat your food, and then you walk back to your desk and you sit for 4 hours. And then you walk to your car real quick for like 12 seconds, and then you sit while you drive to the gym, and then half the machines that you're using while you're at the gym, you're sitting, and then you
So true.
sit on your way from the gym back to the house, and then you're so tired from your workout that you sit on your ass and you watch TV until 10 o'clock, and then you walk up the stairs and you go to bed and you repeat the process. It's like, no wonder we're in such terrible shape, you know?
I feel like that's why like sports are so important. Like it brings about some kind of primal instinct, I feel like, in comparison to
Oh,
just lifting
for
weights.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like there's
I
something,
agree.
I don't know, primal about going and climbing or like tackling somebody and throwing a ball
Yeah,
around and stuff. And that's just like way better for your body in a bunch of different ways than just going to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour a day. Not that you shouldn't go to the gym
no,
for 45 minutes to an hour a day. That's a good habit to get into, but like, you know, arguably walking for like an hour and a half every day is more beneficial to you probably than
definitely.
your weightlifting routine, you know.
Yep, for sure. Especially for longevity.
For longevity especially. Yeah, yeah, exactly. General
I mean,
health. Strength
it's
goals are different.
controversial. It's controversial that if working out's even good for you on a 7 day a week basis, you know. Some people say no, it's like once or twice a week. That's healthy. Past that, you're being excessive.
Yeah,
I don't
there's like
know.
the it's like the minimalistic movement of fitness.
Yep, for sure.
I think it was like didn't Tim Ferriss have a book? like the 4 Hour Body or something like that after he wrote the 4 Hour Work Week.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I'm sure it is exactly the sentence you said.
Yeah,
Minimalistic fitness.
very minimalistic fitness, like short, probably shorter workouts, minimum necessary input.
I mean, yeah, and in general, I'm with that. And like the less amount of equipment, the better probably.
Yeah,
Once you hit a certain point,
sure.
I do think some equipment is important. But like, do we need a bunch of machines? No, we probably need a barbell. We probably need
A
weights
pull-up
to go
bar.
on that barbell, and then you probably need a pull-up bar, some dumbbells, and some kettlebells, and you're probably good to go.
Yeah,
You don't need anything else.
hit
Yeah,
everything with those.
for sure. Anyway, let's get
Yeah,
off the body talk.
body talk.
Body talk.
Um, it is getting late, so if you're with us, you should put on your TrueDark glasses, which will help you get to sleep at night because it will aid in the
Yes,
production of melatonin in the body.
that's
So
true. That's
get
true.
your TrueDark glasses. Link in the description. Check it out in HomeBiotic.
Oh, baby.
Also, we have a
Oh,
Patreon.
we do, bro. We
Yeah.
do. And we that Patreon has 3 tiers, okay? And the tiers are extremely hilarious. No, they're not that funny, but they're at least worth one of those like, huh, you know?
Yeah.
They're at least
A
like, huh.
chuckle.
Yeah, huh,
You'll exhale a
funny.
little bit more than you were a
Yeah.
second ago.
Yep. And maybe like maybe like 3 times you'll probably be like maybe two. Yeah, anyway. So your best acquaintance is number one, right? Your best buddy old pal is a little bit up from that. And then your best friend is the tip top. So if you want to be your best friend or your best buddy old pal or your best acquaintance, go ahead to the Patreon. The pin comment down there and in the description box.
Let's
Check
go.
it out.
Do it.
Do it.
There's pre-show parties,
There are.
and you're invited.
Yes. And we're gonna get our first deep dive once we get our first patron. Okay.
Let's go.
First deep dive once we get our first patron. Yeah.
Got a thought of the week?
Uh, yes.
Beat you to it.
I think I do, but I want you to go first.
Want me to go first? Okay. I think I do too. Um, I mean, it's bad. It kind of takes me back to the body talk a little bit, but kind of in a different way. I think it's so important to interact. This is not profound. To interact face to face with humans. I fear that there's a lot of people who have kind of got stuck after what happened with COVID in this like stay inside mentality and see people on very minimal basis. And if I see people, I should stay keep my distance from those people. And I just think it does so much negative for your mental health and your physical health to one, not expose yourself to the literal like human connection, like the eye contact, and reading body language and interacting with people and talking to people, but also just from a standpoint of like being exposed to germs and to different things in the world. I think it just does you a net negative to do those things.
I agree. I get worried about people's inability to handle things that uh, are hard to handle, I guess. Um, I've heard over the years that I'm a pretty intense person, right? So if I feel some type of way, I feel like really strongly about that thing. And on the other side of that, if I don't care about something, I extremely don't care about it. And I think it's hard to have a conversation with someone who has strong opinions and strong beliefs whenever you haven't been exposed to it a bunch. So what I'm trying to get at here is social media, texts, emails, even like voicemail and then returning a phone call. It's all so much less organic than it could be or would be in person. Even over the phone is less organic than it would be in person, but at least over the phone is better.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, not talking to enough people is very, very damaging, I think. And I personally have seen it over the past maybe 6 years or so. People on the whole are a lot worse at listening. People on the whole are a lot worse at articulating their points. And I'm in a weird, like, unique position where I get to see a lot of the same ages of people year in and year out. And I can compare directly 1 year to the next year, same exact age group of people in very similar situations and how they respond in social situations to things.
Yeah.
And I will tell you factually that 2020 and 2021 were the most damaging years to the younger adult generation's ability to communicate face to face. I promise. I've seen it. Okay. And people take things out of context quicker. They're quicker to put up a wall and get frustrated or offended or feel like you're attacking them when you're definitely not. But once someone feels as though they're being attacked, how does the one who is supposedly attacking them tell them that I'm not
This
attacking
is
you?
not an attack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're stuck, as the person that has now been forced onto the defensive. So, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. I have a friend
I
who,
agree.
who's in his last year of college and he's going through the interview process. I think he's a bioengineer major. And he told me that like one of the interviews that he was in, he was complimented on his ability to articulate and his ability to speak with the interviewer. And he's like, dude, that's literally like the conversation he had with the interviewer after the fact was like, that's literally becoming like more of a rare skill. He's like, when we like take interviews from like people even at the same university, it's like stumbling, like it's just like way different than it used to be in terms of like interviewing people and the ability for them to articulate their points and to work through technical problems and like to be able to make eye contact and work with a team. He's like, this is like a good skill for you to have because it's literally just becoming, its own thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's becoming not commonplace.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I don't know what exactly the fix is or the cure is,
Yeah, I don't either.
but I know that I can speak from experience that people that have like stronger personalities, have been put on the defensive, have been forced onto the defensive more over the last 3 years than ever before. And it's because people don't know how to handle like, I don't know, like a tough sentence to hear. Like it's those fucking memes where it's like tough pills to swallow. What's it called? Hard pills
Yeah.
to swallow.
Hard pills to swallow. Yeah.
Like you need someone to tell you those things sometimes, and you don't need to like freak out when they tell you those.
Hmm.
Yes, it should be like, oh shit, that's crazy. But oh shit, that's crazy is very different than like, fuck this guy,
Yeah.
you
Or this
know?
guy is personally attacking me and it's a defensive one.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I personally attacked someone. Except for Sean, I
Dude,
personally
you do
attack
that
him
to
every
me all the
day.
time on this podcast, dude. We have 44 episodes of you personally attacking me every time. No. Yeah, that was my thought of the week. I was just thinking about it as holidays come closer and people are gathering. So
Yeah,
anyway.
that's pretty much almost my same thought of the week.
Wow,
But
really?
yeah, to an extent. Mine was see if I can articulate it differently so it sounds unique.
Word jujitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Do a little word kung fu real quick. Um Nah, I'll just say that, you know, I think a lot of people's thoughts aren't theirs, and they are. The internet has helped, and social media also, not the internet. Social media has helped people just be parents without their own actual thoughts. So there's someone who had an opinion who was in a position to share that opinion, and then a bunch of people just steal those exact same words, implant them into their brain, and then spew them back out to the world. So it's this huge echo chamber of like a handful of people that have opinions, and then the rest of the people who just want to hear opinions. And yeah, I don't know the fix for that either, but I do think people just need to be people need to create their own framework for things. And pretty much everything, this is my opinion, of course, pretty much everything you do, you should have a framework for how you do it, and what it is, and why you think this thing is the best way to do this. Like there is a best way to do everything with the knowledge that you have in that moment. I don't think people are actually trying to think about what that best way is. They're like, what does someone else think about this? Who fucking
Yeah.
cares what someone else thinks about it? Like that should maybe be a jumping off point for you. Or if it's an educational thing where you literally don't know anything about something, yes, go learn about that thing. But when it has to do with building your own thoughts and ideas and opinions, stop listening to other people. Have your own opinions about things.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I think you
listen
should
to
allow. Sorry, go ahead.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. What you're going to say, basically, listen to all the people, see who has like a factual basis for what they're saying, see who is like vindicated in the sense that whatever the framework they're using has led to results. If the framework they're using has led to results, it's very, very valid, and you should listen to it. Doesn't mean you should steal their exact framework because you're not that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't steal their framework. Yes, their framework might work really well, but are there holes in it? I would bet so. Is there some scenario in which that framework is flawed? I would bet so. Improve upon it. Make it your own, you know?
I like the term framework here because like I'll talk specific but also not specific. Like from a political standpoint, personally, like my political opinions have like shifted over the years because I've developed a framework and it is so not tied to any kind of ideology at all, specifically because it is my framework. You know what I mean? Like my approach to when I'm asked a particular question about how I view something and how something should be run is like not tied to an ideology, but rather like a set of rules that I've cultivated in my head that just, it just results in a different output depending on whatever the input is. And I think that's
Yeah,
important for people to have is to like cultivate
very
those rules
important.
based on the things that they value as an individual.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think
I
everything needs to
agree.
start with that. It's like what are my core principles? And this can be in an athletics standpoint, from an athletic standpoint. What are the most important things if I'm trying to help someone in athletics? You know, this could be from a friendship thing. What are the most important things I basically I need in order to make sure a friendship is actually like working, something worth cultivating, a
Yeah,
relationship,
relationship. Yeah.
a work situation. Like, what do I need from this? What do I need from my workplace in order to make sure that this is something I'm actually going to want to do and stick with? Yeah, no, I agree.
I also agree. Damn it.
Dang it, dude. Stop agreeing
Dang,
with me,
stop,
bro.
dude. Nah, that's a good thought of the week.
Thanks. Dude, look how long my hair is, bro.
You're welcome. It's getting there. Gonna chop it soon.
I'm sure I will, but I don't know when.
I nice. Well, should we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Amazing.
I was gonna just wait, see how long until you're like, what the fuck?
No, I knew
Well,
what you were doing, and I was like, let's see how far this can go.
he caught on to me. He's on to me. All right, dog. Well, I enjoyed it. It's been your
Me
best
too.
friends. It's Austin, and
It's Sean.
I love you.
We love you.